Oh, sorry about the background noise. Let me turn that off. My bad. That's a rookie mistake. Can't believe I did that. Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome to another breaking news. We got a lot of stuff today. I mean, I got a lot of stuff. I mean, I got stuff in the Bigfoots, of some little information I'll give out. You know, the presidents, 2 different presidents on their take of aliens, UFOs. And I got a very interesting Mandela effect today that is just not about the effect itself. It's about information, about history, about taking old pictures. I mean, there's trust me, guys, you want to wait for the Mandela effect to learn this information about how pictures are taken back in the 1800s and maybe how this spawned out to some Mandelas. But beyond that, the information on the Mandela itself is worth for you guys to stick around. And before we start into the Bigfoot community, something very cool that a lot of people might know, the SQUATCHIN Cowboy, which he sent me this shirt, and since there's green color, you can see that it's green screen.
It's cool.
It's green screen. But I'm gonna show something up. I'm gonna pop something up here, and let me see here. Where did I freaking put
Connor needs a Sasquatch t-shirt.
President Bill Clinton.
Oh, that's not the one. That's not the one.
Yeah, I need to design one so that way we can spread the word. Bigfoot Anon, the link between cannabis, ganja, the cabbage man, and of course, just nature. Because when you're baked, hiking, biking, swimming, everything feels better.
Okay.
Does.
Now, guys, the SQUATCHIN Cowboy. He makes the coolest intros. I mean, he makes like these clips that are like movie type, like. Okay, but when you guys watch this, I want you to when the cowboy walks like through the door, when you see this door, there's 2 pieces of papers on this door. And I want you guys to try to do the best you can. And maybe when I get there, I'll hit pause and you guys could look at these pictures. Now, I hate hitting pause because it kind of, you get that mode, you get that video mode. But for this, This is very fucking cool. My opinion.
Especially with cowboys, man. You really hit that mode with the Westerns until you get the bone tomahawk in your taint.
And so I'm going to show this. And myself and Michigan Rob are working out where I'm going to be coming on their channel very soon. Very soon.
Yes.
So that's going to be freaking awesome. But guys, check this out. Oh, I guess I got to jump on that. Tab, press play. Here we go.
Saddle Tramps Saloon.
Saddle
name.
Yeah. It's I by sometimes. It's over 9 a.m. Who's winning?
I hate to hit pause, but there's 2 papers on that wall. You guys might. I'll put the link to this after the show's over, so you might want to pull up the link and try to make it wider. It's hard for me to do it because it's through StreamYard.
They're wanted.
There's a wanted man that's beneath me. That's on that paper, and next to that piece of paper is another piece of paper with Gypsy wrote on it. We are in this video without being in this video. How fucking cool is that? That is, I'm talking about that is fucking cool. But
I love it, man. I got to add it to my IMDb page. I got to talk to my manager about it, add it into my resume. I'm already talking to new film directors saying, I've been in a Western. I got some experience. So, yes, thank you, SQUATCHIN Cowboy, and Kenny. Kenny's the cowboy right there. He plays an awesome villain. I camped with him up in Tennessee. We were all playing pranks on each other. He's definitely a brother around the campfire. And he is also the SQUATCHIN Cowboy. Joe Pass is the face of SQUATCHIN Cowboy, but they are a duo for sure because their wives love when they're out in the woods and not driving them up nuts. But Eric, if you could fast forward a little bit, to when they show the girl in the back of the saloon. I see that she is very well read.
We're going to play the whole video. Here we go.
What are you drinking, stranger?
I'm looking for the SQUATCHIN cowboy.
That'd be me.
I love it. I love it.
You're a wanted man, cowboy.
Reckon I'm right popular. You a non-subscriber?
That's what I do for a living. I watch YouTube videos and don't subscribe.
Non-subscribing is not much of a living, boy.
I love it.
You don't have to do this. You can just ride on.
I had to come back. I don't believe in Bigfoot.
Oh. Dude, this is so well made.
Quality.
Look at the book he's reading. Look at her book.
The Panhandle Pirates by Connor Flynn. Heard that one's pretty freaking good. And by the count of the pages, she was on the Huggin' Molly chapter, and man, that is a scary tale.
And I'm gonna put this link in the chat right here so you guys can watch the whole thing. You know, putting effort into making something, it's a lot of work. I mean, even the stupid little video Bob and I made, it's a lot of work. You know, writing little papers, what you're gonna do, what is this gonna be seen, you know, and then putting pieces together. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And to see that well made, and then he did black and white with the coloring and the sound, that takes even more work.
And the acting alone is superior.
Yeah, what we did.
Yeah.
So,
and them too.
And they show a lot of respect to have us in it in some ways. I mean, that's
for sure, man. I love that. That's awesome creativity. He's not scared to bring himself into this community, and that's what I love. And that's why me and Joe Cass were out there, you know, enjoying the river, enjoying life at like 7 a.m. He's definitely a brother from another, and I was teasing him, asking him about his editing on his normal, you know, Bigfoot videos, and I was like, you do that all yourself, you know? And I told him, you know, for an old geezer, that's pretty impressive. So even better right there, man. You look like Steven Spielberg and, of course, George Lucas, Gypsy Road's favorite.
Now, right before we jump into the Bigfoot, little changes going on this week. Breaking news for tomorrow is moved to Wednesday because I'm going to see the Batman Wednesday night. Got special tickets. It's before the public. But tomorrow night, guys, I'm telling you, it's called Midnight Stream. We got this woman coming on this channel tomorrow night. Her name, she's Lupita Inspire. She writes children books. She writes books. She writes books about dreams. You know, what are dreams? What are dreams made of? And guys, I'm telling you right now, this is the most wonderful person you'll ever meet. You're gonna say to yourself, she's too nice. What is she doing on this channel? I don't know either. But guys, if you have questions about dreams, and she don't read tarot cards, she's not a medium, nothing. She's a regular person who's studying and research and writes books about dreams and children books. She wants children to understand what dreams are, what are they telling you. So if you guys have any questions about dreams, last time she was on our channel a year and a half ago, she's actually helped a couple veterans with PTSD on what to do and how to handle. I mean, she doesn't have like the direct answer, but she kind of tells you, what are your dreams telling you? So if you guys have any kind of dream questions, come tomorrow night. Trust me.
Bring it.
You all gonna fucking love her. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna love her. She's fantastic. And did I put that link in the chat for tomorrow already?
Make sure you put it in there.
I did.
I love the thumbnail though.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a little Wizard of Oz, magical world, dream world. So I try to mix it where everything's in a dream world.
No, that's a good one. That's sure to get about 8,000 views on Reddit and then suspended a couple days later.
Yeah.
That's our style.
Yeah, and it'd probably be somebody from the Bigfoot community that has nothing to do with dreams. But beyond that, guys, let's get to some videos. Here we go in the Bigfoot intro. All right, this video news is actually from a local news channel that I see every day. That if I turn on the channel, it's what my Fox 13 is. It's the people that I can watch now, and they actually did something on the Bigfoot. Whoa. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like, hey, actually something from my own local channel. So about the Northwest. So let's check this out, see what they got to say.
Here in the Northwest, the legend of Bigfoot dates back hundreds of years. Stories of Sasquatch, a giant creature that roamed the forest, were passed from generation to generation and continue to this day, despite no concrete proof that the creature actually exists. Now, we do know evidence does exist. Just the media don't want to recognize. Just so you guys know that. Only believe in Bigfoot. They say they have encountered it. So along with photojournalist Walker Anderson, I went deep into the woods to hear their stories and check it out for ourselves.
A big black figure. It's different color than the normal night surrounding me.
In the Northwest,
it scared the crap out of me.
The legend dates back generations.
And he said this thing basically looked at him.
Talked to people who spent a lot of time in these woods.
He said it had kind of a monkey face.
And you'll hear the stories.
And then he said it had a weird smell.
Bigfoot.
And he
an icon.
walked towards it.
A mystery. A mascot.
Well, I'm definitely open to Bigfoot. What's the world without a little wonder, right?
Here in the foothills of the Cascades is Jim Creek Recreation Area. 5,000 acres of protected military land.
We're in this beautiful, lush, private, secure area. It has a lot of mystery.
Yeah, just for kids. A lot of people don't know there's a lot of woods out here that's actually technically owned by the military and stuff. So there ain't a lot of people walking these trails and stuff. So if there's going to be a lot of deers and stuff, it'll be in this area because there's less people. Animals know where less people is. So it's by the Bremerton area where there's a huge Navy base. I'm talking about these Navy ships, have nukes on these ships. So if there's a nuke war, we'll be the first ones to get hit because we have ships that have nukes on them.
Yeah.
So a little information.
To it. There's great potential for if there's gonna be something that this would be the place.
We're squatching deep into the hinterlands, Jim Creek Wilderness area. This is where very few humans tread, although it has been said that Bigfoot does roam. The signs don't lie. Sasquatch is here.
We're really promoting kind of a friendlier Sasquatch instead of a scarier Sasquatch.
But that's just the beginning. For decades, there have been countless reports of encounters with something deep in these woods. Something big. Something that can't be explained.
This is a great spot for Sasquatch to be.
So we brought John Ray, a Bigfoot field researcher, to investigate.
I do investigate when other people say they have seen something, because I've had experiences, I've had a sighting, my kids have had sightings. We tracked this thing from where it hit the trailer around and through this open field and out into the forest again.
Just a massive creature, it seems like.
David Grant is a scientist.
It appears that that thumb that made it moved up through the mud or substrate and then when it was taken out, it left that cavity.
And that's even a
and
scientist
you can see the
that's saying
thumb
this.
print. So the thumbnail is right there.
An archaeologist, anthropologist,
All of the evidence seems to be lining up.
and Bigfoot enthusiast.
It's more in line with these fingers, and it's wrapping or curling around something like that. And so a hand like that would make a print like this.
Fascinated by the mystery,
Are you open-minded?
by the questions that don't have answers.
So as an anthropologist, I just can't see how any...
Sorry, I got a dog right
more
here.
of a mystery how anybody would not be interested in this topic. Plus, it's a good way to get in the woods and meet good, crazy people.
And I must be one of them, because here I am. And yeah, it does get weirder. As night falls, we go on a hike through the woods, a night walk, as they call it, to search for evidence of Bigfoot. What we uncovered tomorrow morning on Q13 News. And if you'd like...
Yeah. You know,
Yes.
one thing I would say about the state of Washington of researching and stuff, I'm not guaranteeing this with every single state, but they are a little bit more open-minded. And some researchers, they do bring out an archaeologist because there's a strong college up here that teaches that Bob went to himself.
Yes, I went to that school.
And how many times do you see any news where a scientist is actually saying this footprint is kind of still proof because of the footprint? I mean, you don't get a lot of that. Most scientists will say, no, that's all fake and not. So
a lot of people come to University of Washington specifically enthused by a walking bipedal hominid. Let me use the terms, and we kick out a lot of Sasquatch enthusiasts. I mean, a lot of people took anthropology with their for Bigfoot, and Washington is the place to be when you're a Bigfoot researcher. Right out of anthropology, right out of college, you're like fucking straight over there. Get in your car and your truck, load your shit up, and they are hunting, man, right up the road. It's like volcanologists love Washington, you know, because of all the cracks and crevices and fault lines. You know, it's a heaven for that too. And Mount Rainier is a volcano. You know, it's a beautiful thing.
What I want to say is, people, get ready. It's gonna sound weird. I'm actually doing Rocky right now. I'm actually been going to the gym a lot more. I'm actually getting myself even more in shape because I'm going to start doing filming, exploring some of these woods so you guys can see it since it's right there. So I'm just getting myself even better in shape, you know, just whatever it takes, you know. It's better for your health anyway to get in shape, but you know, you're a little older, you know, it is what it is.
You're going to have to link up with Tyler that we had on our show that stays on Mount Hood, you know, 5 of the 7 days of the week in a tent little setup campground. I can't wait to see you up in the Olympic Peninsula and up at Mount Rainier. But yeah, man, it doesn't even have to go far into the woods to see a Sasquatch in Seattle. The Seattle Supersonics, their mascot was a Sasquatch. And I love that because the NBA, the owners of the team, they knew that Sasquatch was supersonic, that was supernatural. And there's a lot of researchers that really can't get over that hump, but they must have never felt deja vu. They never must have felt loved ones. They must have never had a baby moment that they, you know, called out to their parents just through vibrations. It's not all just physical life that we're living. It's a comic book world, like we always say here. So I love that the Seattle Supersonics was on the front lines, man. You know, the mascot was dunking at halftime. Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, Rashard Lewis, Kevin Durant. Bring back the Sonics. I want us to be in the news during the parade when they bring back the Sonics. They are the Seattle Kraken. So bring back the Bigfoot, guys. Now
this next video is an older video. It's called Bigfoot in Estes Park, Estes Park. Doesn't exactly tell me where this park is. Let me see here. Does it say where this park is? Found East Park, Colorado. I think it's Colorado.
Dang, I wish I said that a little quicker. I was going to say, I think Estes is Colorado, but
there we go. A lot of you in the Bigfoot community probably already seen this, but remember, not everybody here is from the Bigfoot community. So this might be the first time for a lot of people.
Hi, and welcome to this special edition of the Estes Park News Weekend Report. I'm Chris Hazelton. Is there a Bigfoot in Estes Park? Investigators and local residents want to know. Last week, Ken Collins was hiking along with a buddy of his up above Elm Road in search of firewood. The two came upon a snowbank with 3 interesting-looking footprints that looked strangely different from anything they had ever seen. Ken took plaster casts of the footprints and decided he had something here that was very out of the ordinary. The footprint is very large and measures 14 inches long and 10 inches wide. The cast has definite areas on it where you can distinguish toes and other landmarks of a foot.
See, sometimes the light gives it the...
Yeah, you can see the toes, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm just excited, guys. I just think I got the real deal.
Ken wondered if he may have stumbled upon some evidence of a Bigfoot and contacted the Bigfoot Research Organization, and they came up to investigate. BFRO is the organization which produces the Finding Bigfoot show and is the oldest and largest organization of its kind and is considered the most credible and respected investigative network involved.
Let me pause it for a second. Is this organization, Connor? I mean, I don't know what consider a big, huge organization. Is that a real, true, big, huge organization?
Yes, the BFRO is the main organization. Matthew Moneymaker, the main guy in Finding Bigfoot, he started that. But a lot of people, there's 2 camps. You know, you either report your encounter to the BFRO or you don't. And I'm Bigfoot and non. You know, report your encounters to me. That's all I can say. There is a lot of good people in the BFRO, but some people, you know, they say to go outside of it. I just want everybody to, you know, have their own opinion, and every situation is its own situation. Every researcher is their own researcher. Some people just like to have access to the Ultra database because you can search it, BFRO. I was using it today to research. But then if you're a member, you get to see even more details and stuff. But a lot of people, you know, say that they wipe out the supernatural stuff. So exactly what I was just saying. They wipe out the stuff that can't be explained from the reports. And of course, a lot of us now are saying, we need that stuff. You know, we need all the details and data to draw our own conclusions and correlations. We can't fit everything into a box to just, you know, meet some kind of agenda. But again, you know, I'm not cursing or cussing anybody out. I want everybody to have their own free opinion. But I reached out to BFRO and have went out with researchers and you know, interviewed multiple people from it. So
that's
definitely
great information. See,
definitely
guys, this is what I'm talking about. This is great information for everybody.
They're like
in the study of Bigfoot. The group did a 3-hour investigation here in Estes Park with Ken and determined that these findings here are credible.
I think it's just exciting. We definitely had to call the experts in to get the actual opinion on them, and their hypothesis is the real thing.
Just days before the footprint discovery, a Bigfoot-like creature was reported near Glenhaven and Drake off the side of the road. Also, several years ago, there was a reported Bigfoot sighting in Rocky Mountain National Park by some campers. So this is not the first time there have been reported sightings of the mysterious creature in our area. Ken asked the local wildlife and tracking expert Jane Majewski and her trained search and rescue dog Lakota to come to the area where the footprints were found. Lakota was very focused on the scents in the area, and she also found a clump of some kind of hair near where the footprints are found. Jane pointed out some more evidence of tracks, even though Bigfoot tracks are known to be so subtle that it takes a specially trained eye to find them. Jane has since put up motion detector cameras and track traps in hopes of capturing more evidence. Bigfoot researcher Dennis Bohl told Ken that the footprint casts he has made have telltale markers on it and said he's pretty confident that he's got the real deal. Members of the BFRO will be submitting all of the information and photos of this recent discovery to Dr. Jeff Meldrum, another well-known expert on Bigfoot. When asked what Ken would say to his skeptics, he said, up until a week ago, he was a skeptic too, but he believes now. Whether you believe or not, it's a fascinating find. If Bigfoot really does exist, this new evidence in Estes Park may help prove this age-old mystery. Stay tuned, and we'll see what develops.
You know, it's always sad that so many people only become believers once something happens to them. I mean, it is what it is. They're not open-minded at all until it actually happens.
They said 15 or 14. 14, right? I'm a 14. So I don't. It's a Bigfoot. It's a size 14. Well, I'm a 14, so I don't know what to tell them. Someone like me walking around barefoot, I guess. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Now, Bob, what would you be doing in Colorado in the snow, walking barefoot?
I don't know. Apparently, I must have been there.
Hanging on the side trailers.
Did you have to take a leak or something? And
I don't know, but they were like, and it's a size 14, and I'm like, I'm a size 14. What are you talking about?
You know, on this channel, it's up to you what you want to believe. It's up to you.
A couple cool things, specifics though about Bigfoot tracks, which it's not all tracks because again, different type of creatures. You know, a Chihuahua and a Great Dane are both dogs, but they have different tracks. Best believe that. But dermal ridges are kind of like the fingerprints of your toes.
So if you a Chihuahua is bigger than this.
Yeah, it's just a little smaller than that. But if you could get a really clear track or cast or a picture of a cast or a 3D scan now of a footprint, you can see the dermal ridges and then you can compare it. And then you can also see if it's the same creature year to year. Yeah. And then also toward the back of the foot is a mid-tarsal break where it could kind of grip like a monkey foot. But some people think that that is kind of how it's leading to the agenda of a monkey man, because I've seen footprints that it doesn't really have the mid-tarsal break, but it looks like a young juvenile or even all the way up to a bigger female mom, like the ones in the cave that I've taken. And into the 400, they've done like hundreds of foot casts, and they've done them year to year, and they know they're not humans, and they look similar to it, and not all of them have mid-tarsal breaks. So we can't get caught in boxes again, but there are sometimes some specifics that can lead us to differentiate. But again, where's the line? Because there's feral people that kind of look like you, Bob. If I saw you in the forest and I got your footprint, that's a cryptid, man. It's something. It's at least it's a hobo, and we'd at least get some details on it. But it would be something. But it's all we could do is have that plaster ready so we can cast and show it off.
All right, guys, it's time to jump on over to the paranormal.
Okay.
All right. Now, this first one I'm going to show you is Paranormal Expert sees second ghost in Stanley Hotel photo. Oh. So this is about the famous Stanley Hotel. Everybody knows the Stanley Hotel from the movie The Shining and stuff. But apparently they got a picture that's been proven to be real. So let's check out this news show.
We showed you a picture from the Stanley Hotel that appears to show something. Many say a ghost at the top of the staircase of the hotel.
A lot of people debating on social media about images, of the image's authenticity, so we got a professional opinion. We sent the picture to Kevin Sampron, the president and founder of Spirit Paranormal Investigations. He says that in over 90% of cases his team looks into, natural causes are what to blame for what people think is paranormal activity. However, he says this picture's legit. The team found no evidence of tampering or photoshopped, and in fact, they found what they believe is a second ghost.
Huh.
When we blew up the picture of the anomaly, I immediately saw a second anomaly just to the left of the first figure. And so it looks like the first anomaly appears to us to be like a lady dressed in black. And to the left of her, it looks like what is a child. You can see the child's head clearly outlined over the top of the steel railing, just to the left of the woman in it.
So that's pretty interesting. And apparently they took the picture to get it analyzed. And apparently the picture hasn't been messed with. I mean, that's what they're telling us. So was I there with these professionals who look at this picture to say it's real or not? Don't know. But, you know, it's getting your work double checked, and they might have caught the real deal.
Yeah. And if she was all in black, technically she should be in white. It would be the opposite with the color thingy. So yeah, that would make sense. A woman in an all white dress with a baby or with a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not, at least it's not two little girl twins that are staring at you at the end of a hallway with blood flowing behind them. That's a lot, it's different. That's different. But this is a little more sincere.
What I saw until the breakdown, when they started doing the arrows, I didn't even see the woman. I saw like a little hooded figure to the right, and then I saw, which kind of looked like a girl, and then to the left was the other child. So I thought it was two siblings, and then I saw the mother once they cooked it. So there was like 3 or 4 different ghosts that I saw in there. But yeah, that's very cool, and I love that. One tip I heard was when you're taking pictures with either your phone, your camera, or your mind or whatever, don't look at it. So that way you allow the ghost or the orbs or the spirit to reveal themselves. Because if you're staring at it, when will it show? If you look, you allow that door, that window to be open. And we've had a lot of luck. Howelltown and other places down south, like the Mansfield Reformatory and Moundsville Prison.
Well, here's the pictures. Let's see if I can.
Interesting.
Let's see if I can do the best I can to make it. It gets blurry when I do it, but yeah, I guess you can see like a white, round kind of a face and a dress, and you can see how it overlaps the wood lines behind it. So something is making a circle there.
Interesting, yeah.
And if you look from afar, of course, it looks better, of course.
Yeah.
But when you look, like I said, it's when you zoom in, it gets blurry. But
well, I like Connor's take on it. It's kind of the physics thing, If you look at the particle, it's a straight line, or 2 lines. If you don't look at the particle, it's waves. So if there's no observer. There's no observer, then these waves will form an image. Possibly we've got a whole new conversation to have now. I mean, people talk about, there's an observer, then it's 2 straight lines. And, when particles or photons are doing a little whatever. And you look away, if there's no observer, then they become waveform. Is the tree fall in the forest? There's nobody there to see it. So maybe that's
well, I don't know who's from Texas. Anybody from Texas, this next video is going to be where you're at. Cool. Paranormal investigators explore East Texas hotspots on ghost hunting trip. So if you're in East Texas, this is for you.
Cool.
All right, y'all. If you believe in ghosts, you'd love to know that after doing some late night investigating, paranormal experts believe some parts of East Texas are haunted. KTK's Lauren Margolis is live in front of Tyler's World of Chaos. And Lauren, who are you going to call?
Well, Sarah, I would call Ghostbusters, but they were already here last night. Paranormal investigators say that the history of this property is what makes it such a magnet for spirits. Now, 2 well-known paranormal investigator crews teamed up last night to go ghost hunting after Paranormal Con. This was one of the places they explored with the most ghostly activity. Red Dirt Paranormal and Deep South Paranormal investigators featured on channels like Sci-Fi brought their fancy equipment to see what they could find. But one of the investigators says if you want to do your own phantom finding, sometimes the inexpensive and simple tools are the best to have.
Yeah, your ears.
Actually, one of the best devices you could use is just a $10 tape recorder from Walgreens or whatnot. I keep it simple. So flashlight and the camera for me, I'm ready to go.
World of Chaos is listed online as one of the most haunted places in East Texas. Once the original location for Tyler Pipe in the 1930s.
That device that they're using right there is a REM pod, and we had a lot of success with that in my ACA at the Tatum house. It is a very sensitive device that you sit it on a table, and if anything touches it, it will start blinking and going off. So you can communicate with spirits and honestly the Sasquatch of the swamp through that. And it is amazing. And Stacy had multiple levels of them, so different frequencies it picked up. Really cool device, around $80 to $200. I definitely recommend it to any paranormal investigator. It's very cool data, and it's a visual representation. So it's great for viewers and everybody else to be involved as well.
I wonder,
REM pods.
I wonder how much a cost is for one of those. I mean, I don't know what the price is.
It's about $80.
Yeah, about 80 to 200, and then you could get ones specifically made by, ghost investigators, or you could get a generic branded one. It's a really cool thing to look into, and I'm definitely hoping to buy one soon. I take my approach very nice and slow. I just got the Necrophonic app, and I'm running that till the end.
Here we go.
It's now home to a haunted house attraction since 2008. A fire broke out in the 1970s, and multiple deaths have been reported over the years. And people who work here say they've seen apparitions, they've heard footsteps, they've even seen objects being thrown around. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to go in there and find out for myself. Live in Tyler, Lauren Margolis, KTK News.
Well, that's cool. If you guys live in East Texas, go check it out.
Yeah, take her with you, and take her in there with you.
I think if we call that news channel, say, hey, would you send the reporters out with us to investigate this? They probably run. They're probably like, no.
They would sense pure professionalism. Me, you, and Connor would be fine. We'll be fine in there. We'd make a whole show out of it.
Yeah,
great.
Well, guys, we're going to be jumping into the UFO, and it's going to be the President's Day of the UFOs. So
yes,
this is actually going to be fun. Trust me. All right. Now, I love getting points of view, UFOs, aliens, whatever, from our ex-presidents. Presidents now, ex-presidents. I'm always, they're never going to tell you the absolute truth, but I like to look at their body language and how they're saying it.
Yes.
This first one is from Slick Willie, good old Slick Willie, good old Bill Clinton, who's made the most money out of all presidents being president.
Yes.
Went from 1.7 million to 245 million being president.
Yes.
Even being impeached, he makes money. But
and a connoisseur of cigars, apparently. Yes.
Yeah, cigars. So, here we go.
Patterson. All right, President Clinton, first things first before we move on. UFOs. You've been the president. You've seen all the info. Are they real?
They've given us an idea for our next book.
Well, what do you know? What can you tell us?
The truth is that we've never proved one, but there are things flying around up there that we haven't fully identified yet. And keep in mind, there are basically 1 billion galaxies in an ever-expanding universe. I mean, you can't even get your mind around the sheer number of things that are out there.
But you've seen this.
And
you've seen the data.
Well, no one knows, but I think that the probability is that there's something you would call life somewhere else.
All right, and this
This
is book number 3.
Right, so this is this jumping off point.
Book number 3.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
You're a Rhodes Scholar. You know what's up there. What is it? Tell us right now. Do we need to protect ourselves? Should we be buying duct tape or anything?
No.
We need to protect ourselves from ourselves.
No, yeah.
Just grab your
we need
ear
to
if we're
worry about.
unsafe.
We need to worry about what Jim said. We need to get better at home.
Yes, right.
In our earthly home and our American home.
Mm-hmm.
All right, before we jump over to Trump's, now, I bet you they're not kidding. We'll talk about UFOs in a third book to make money. If you want the truth, you're going to have to pay for the truth. I mean, isn't that Bill Clinton's way? I mean, it's all about the money with that guy.
Yeah.
So he politically correct. He's saying there's unidentified, that he doesn't know what's up there.
Yeah, unidentified.
Most people say. But what does Trump say? What does Trump think about UFOs? Let's see this guy.
Welcome back to our special Trump in Asia edition of Tucker Carlson Tonight. We're standing right now on the North Korean border. Our interview with the president didn't simply focus on foreign policy or the decay of American cities, though you could fill hours of programming on those topics. The federal government is being increasingly open about its decades-long investigation of UFOs. They have spent millions of dollars, and officials admit now they've seen many things they don't understand. We decided to ask the president about it. Here was his semi-cryptic answer. Watch.
You gave an interview the other day in which you said you've been briefed on unidentified flying objects.
Are they real?
Well, I don't want to really get into it too much, but personally, I tend to doubt it. I mean, you have people that swear by it, right? And pilots have come in and they said, and these are pilots that are not pilots that are into that particular world, but we have had people saying that they've seen things. I'm not a believer, but, you know, I guess anything's possible.
We spoke to a government official recently who said the U.S. government had wreckage from a UFO in a facility on an Air Force base. Are you familiar with that?
I haven't heard that, no. I haven't heard that. It has not been within government, has not been a big thing, but I've seen it. I've seen it on your show, but I've seen it. I don't assume it's correct, but, you know, I have an open mind, Tucker.
No, you do, Mr. President. Thank you for that.
Nowadays, you can believe anything, right?
Now, I'm not here to say anybody's telling the truth or not, but at least he said, even though he's not a believer, he says he's open to it. But what does he really know? What is, you know, one president says there are unidentified, and now Trump just comes out and say, I don't believe it. I don't know, you know.
They're all liars. They're all liars, pants on fire. Every single one of them. To me, they're just puppets. They're actors. He was the head of the WWF wrestling. He was a fucking manager for other wrestlers. Come on, he's an actor.
But this is what I say, Bob.
Yeah.
The actual president politicians, they are the actors because that's how they win.
They're the actors.
He's a bad actor. We know, and he won because of the personality that he has. So he's not on the same acting as Bill, Obama, Biden, George Bush, and all that.
Yeah.
So is his kind of a truth more than theirs because he's not in that political?
Well, they're all.
You know what I mean? You know, being political correct.
I was in the Freemasonry and probably still am. And they are too. And so, unless they get a call from hey, don't be talking about alien, don't be talking about this, okay, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about this. Well, I don't believe in, whatever is being told to them to say. They're actors. They're just actors. I mean, when I was in Freemasonry, everything was acting. You learned how to do skits. It was all skits. He's performing a skit. I know that. I mean, I don't know if anybody else knows that, but I'm like, okay, good job.
What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, it was a clear skit. They did a whole lot of talking, saying a whole lot of nothing. Unidentified flying objects. They didn't talk about any specific, alien races, extraterrestrials, if the planets exist or are in there in the firmament, or is it forbidden islands that these aliens are coming from? Is it 400 light years away or 4,000 miles that way? Is it a lot closer to home that they're selling us? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was just a charade, but it was fun. It's a cool halfway point for most of society and most of the community. But all of us, diehards, we're neck deep in this. So we already know the stuff they're referring to. And, Donald, the second one, he said, he doesn't believe in it. And then 4 months later, the Navy confirms it. So it's silly. And he knew that the whole time. It's just a freaking charade. And then the first guy, zip my lips because
that's why I show these two, because to show you guys that if you want the truth, you're not going to get it from the government.
Well, he might be telling the truth. I mean, he might be saying it's not unidentified. He might say they're not UFOs. In other words, he's telling you the truth. They're identified. In other words, he's saying they're not UFOs because he knows what they are. So then again, you've got the truth with what sounds like a lie, because he's telling you the truth. They're not identified. In other words, like Connor says, we know what they are. We know where they come from. So they're not technically unidentified.
Yep.
So he's not lying. He's telling you the truth. Yeah.
Right. Half truths to get by. They didn't talk about the castles in the sky, Jack and the Beanstalk, giants and aliens and deities and gods and petroglyphs and how it connects to the dollar bill. Why is there, Egyptian pyramids on there? Yeah, it's all a charade, because if you do a deep dive, there is thousands of credible people, police officers, military veterans, firemen, land surveyors, pretty much the same list that have seen Sasquatch, have had same encounters with things in the sky, or even abductions. thousands of people that have abduction stories, and then they give you, this little thing on just the surface. They're like, yeah, it might exist. It's
Maybe.
just one of those spoon-fed things.
Now, here's a good thing. Spooky Morales is right. Now, Trump saying he's not a believer at the moment, but didn't he not create Space Force? Space Force. He created Space Force. So if he's a non-believer, he doesn't believe anything. He could have stuck with NASA. NASA was good enough, but no, he has spent more American tax dollar money on another division of the government called Space Force. So if he's a non-believer, why is he creating another Space Force?
Who's closely working with Elon Musk to put possibly another car into space, because we know that could happen. It'll require several $1 billion.
Now, beyond that, guys, we're going to jump over to Mandela Effect, and Bob's going to give us some information right before we show the video clips of what we're going to show. There's some good information you guys want to see on this next one.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I can't find the intro. Here it is.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. I am your father.
All right. I'm going to show a little clip that Bob, Dr. himself, had put together with some pictures of old cowboys. Perfect for the show today. SQUATCHIN Cowboy. It kind of fits in perfectly.
Yeah.
But before I show this clip that Bob created, Bob, can you explain how pictures are made back in the 1800s and stuff?
Well, around the turn of the 1820s, they had this. They invented like photography. It's like it's called monochrome. In fact, I got some literature. I'll just do the first camera invented in the 1820s. Before the time, people related heavily on traditional media, capturing images, for example, on paintings, sketches, and drawings. And however, around the 1820s and up, they invented what they called the monochrome. When they took pictures, basically just like your human eye, if it's the same, I don't fucking know anymore. Everything you see is technically upside down, and your brain turns it the other way. Okay, and then in this case, the same way how the photons come into this big huge box with the big, everything comes in backwards. It's backwards. So if you see somebody, you'll see like a picture like there was a big thing we talk about William Bonney, which is Billy the Kid, and everybody said for the longest time, well, he's a lefty. He's a lefty. Well, you don't know anything about photography because at that time everything was reversed. So he wasn't a lefty. He was a righty the whole time. It was just reversed, that's how they came in. So all of a sudden, I'm doing some research, and I'm looking at all these cowboys in these early 1800 pictures, and a majority of them have their pistols on the right side and the right hand next to the right side. And I'm like, that's unusual because the pictures are reversed. It's supposed to be reversed. So is there a large percentage of people, either A, they're all lefties back in the day, and we switched to righty, or is the camera's not correct? The pictures you see are just something's wrong because that is not in the technology at the time. They should be reversed. Yeah.
Well, let me show this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Big box. Freemason symbol, by the way. It's supposed to be reversed now. Think. Now that's reversed. So there you go. There is he righty or lefty? This is the new picture that came out of nowhere, by the way. That's it. He's holding it in his right hand. Or is it a left hand?
It's really trippy when it's a photograph of a mirror shot.
Yes.
And what?
See how these guys, lefties or righties? It's supposed to be reversed. They're all supposed to be left-handed people. Must be all lefties. Must be another lefty. Pinkertons. A lefty and a righty? Or a righty and a lefty? See, I show those guys because those guys have theirs on. Well, it would be in our modern pictures on their right hip, but it's supposed to be reversed back then. So are they lefty? Oh, they righty. It's a mixed hodgepodge of photographs that should not exist. Having said that, Connor nailed it. It's as if you're taking a picture of them in a mirror, because if you took a picture of the reflection in a mirror, then it would reverse it. And then it would take the correct picture, which we would have modern day, would be a correct picture now. So it's as if they took pictures of them through a mirror on the wall. Are we in a mirror world? Now, it should be the other way. You saw famously, it was all, I mean, we all know about how the pictures are reversed. But then again, tech before its time. Maybe we had there's information that had come up that the color photographs had come in much earlier than people expected. So right now, as of, hold on, I'll read this one. The first successful black and white images were taken by Joseph, whatever, a French developer. However, it got destroyed and attempted to make copies. He was again successful in 1825, where he managed to produce black and white pictures. Anyway, his invention later improved by scholars in 1891. Limpton Gabriel developed a process making naturally colored photographs. Colored photographs in 1891. I don't think so. I don't remember that. In 1891, I don't care if you have the Mandela effect phenomenon or not. Do you remember color pictures in the 1800s? Anyway, now in 1891, Gabriel developed the process of making naturally colored photographs. This was based on a phenomenon of optical light wave interference. This enabled him to win a Nobel Peace Prize in 1908. So apparently, guys, now in 1891, we had color photographs. No, they were black and white in my memory all the way up through
Bob, according to Google,
yeah,
Google says here, and this could be new. I don't know.
Yeah.
1861. The world's first color photo was produced in 1861 by a Scottish physicist, James Clerk Maxwell. The image was created by photographing the tartan ribbon 3 times red, blue, and yellow filters, then recombing the images into one color composite.
Yeah. Now, I'm not just saying this as an amateur. When I went to university, you have to take prereq class. Everyone knows you take the basket weaving classes. I took black and white photography. I took black and white historical photography because I wanted to learn how they did it back in the Old West. And we had the black room, the whole thing, the slide. You would hold it. You'd have to have you put black powder in this little stick and I'm making it stupid for stupid people like myself. It would spark up a flare of light, which would be enough photons to emanate back. It would light them up so bright it would put a projection on the back here backwards. Okay. Another thing is you could not move. If you guys watch that, was it 100 Ways to Die in the West? You guys, you know that comedy. There's a comedy, a thousand ways to die in the West.
Liam Neeson, Seth MacFarlane.
Yes, yeah. And they made a joke about that they got that picture of the old man that was smiled. And they made a joke about who could do this because you would have to, like 20 seconds, you'd have to hold a smile. And it's a joke in the movie. It's a joke because you had to stand still. I mean, you had to stand still for a long time to get that photograph on there and it'd be reversed. And what's funny about that is now you've got photographs, black and white photographs of people moving. They're like literally walking around with coffee cups, which means it was an instant picture. It was instant. They didn't have instant pictures back then. There was no immediate snap pictures. There was no Polaroid. But now, tech before its time, we've got these color photographs. We've got people in action, like they're fighting and horses moving. It's impossible pictures to take. Landscapes were impossible. You've got natives and cowboys fighting each other in action. Wait a minute. Do they have them all stand still? Okay, everybody act like you're fighting, but wait 20 seconds. wait. No, man, they're moving. So there's a lot of weird anomalies. There's a lot of, paranormal anomalies with these photographs. I've even seen photographs where they have there was one Boer War in South Africa. Now there's 3. Oddly enough, 3 Boer Wars in South Africa, and some of the pictures show the slain, the people that are dead, and they're laying there, and it almost looks like, and they're clean. There's no wounds. It looks like they're posing. There's a lot of early antiquity pictures in the West that look fake. And these are pictures that come from people's closets. Eric, I was telling you about how they're pulling at their grandmas and their old woman and says, I don't understand. She pulls this and blows the dust off the top, opens it up and pulls out black and white photos. And these goddamn photos look fake. And they were locked away in her closet. There was no manipulation of her photographs. A lot of them look fake or double exposed or weird things were added to it. Or like, as Connor said, I like the weirdness of the idea of taking a picture in a mirror is the reason why they look the other way. That's impossible. What happened? Did we have a living universe that took a snapshot, but through a mirror? And everything's in reverse, as in the green light is now at the bottom, or it used to be on top. To me, the rainbows are now upside down. Everything's in reverse, like mirror, mirror.
Yeah.
Again, there you go.
What do you think, man? It really, truly makes you think.
Yeah.
I love today's Mandela effect because there's a lot of great information about cameras. Probably a lot of people in the chat doesn't know.
Yeah.
And it looks like Terry Brown has been working with cameras. He wrote, I used to work in a commercial photographic studio in the 80s, and we used full 8x10 wooden Dierdorf cameras like that. The image appears on a glass in the back of it, but was upside down.
Upside down. Yes, and reversed. It's kind of,
and people take it for granted that now you take pictures with your phone, just snap.
Yeah, you take it.
Like, you could do a video and get 100 pictures out of a video with phones. It's amazing. But back in those days, like you said, Bob, you can't even move for 10, 20 seconds.
Right,
It
like
has
the
to
movie.
process.
It's in the movie. It's a comedy made. It's kind of weird how movies have. We talked about how they've foreshadowed, say, certain things that happen with towers, and there's certain cartoons that have foreshadowed all these things to happen. movies have foreshadowed a lot of this eerie strangeness that we have now. In particular, that movie, 1,000 Ways to Die in the West, when they were joking about the old man in the picture. They thought it was cute, that picture of the old man smiling. And their joke was that he had to smile for a long time. You got to hold his smile for a long time. How crazy is that? They're making jokes. He must be mentally ill. And I'm like, yeah, because you'd have to. Nobody smiled in them pictures. You had to.
I know.
Go ahead and try to smile for like 20 seconds or 30 seconds and see how long you last.
Yeah.
It's
If
weird.
anybody wants to watch a movie from the 80s that kind of really explored of now, did a pretty good job. Tom Selleck, Runaway. Guys, check that out. They did a lot of first drones and stuff in that movie that wasn't existed yet. So and gun missiles that have heat seeker.
We have
stuff
now.
That we actually have now.
Star Trek, even old 60s Star Trek has what we have now.
Star Trek, iPads, the good old original iPads and Star Treks.
Yeah, weird, man.
It's amazing. But guys, remember, breaking news tomorrow is going to be moved to Wednesday. Tomorrow night show about dreams. If you guys have any questions about dreams, trust me, show up tomorrow night, and hopefully you can get your question answered. But right before we go, Connor, what do you got going on today? You're going somewhere special today.
Yes, I'm going on an expedition at Tate's Hell Swamp. And Tate's Hell is famous because C.B. Tate was told by a medicine man that this forest was cursed, and he had to give a pig to this medicine man for many years. He finally broke the truce and went into the forest to hunt down a cow for his new wife. Sure enough, his dogs ran after a panther. He ran after them for the next 7 days and then went through hell. And he found giant people and then an Amazonian woman that kind of comforted him through the night, but ended up exhausting him so much that he died after 7 days. And Stacy Brown has done a bunch of Bigfoot research there. I've been doing a lot of research this morning, trying to find just little encounters and historical stories and the secrets of Tate's Hell exactly right there. So I can't wait to go. It's about 80 minutes away from me, so it's a nice little trip. It will hopefully take me into the nighttime and hopefully, record about 2.5 hours worth of, outdoor adventures and wild footage. And I'm going to bring some gifts and some ganja and some bait and some casting supplies, of course, just because we're bound to find some footprints. And it was kind of crazy because I was doing some research on it, and some Midwest Bigfoot page just posted there like 222, so like 6 days ago or something. And I was like, yo, you still here? But I'm super excited to finally bring it to you guys. And the combination between the panther, the giants, the Sasquatch, there's a volcano in Wakulla. They filmed Creature from the Black Lagoon in that area. So I'm just super excited. This has been on my bucket list. I've already checked. Yeah, there's going to be some alligators. And Donnie Miller has had encounters with frogmen and cat people in the same region. And then there's, colonial ghosts and Civil War stained soil. So I'm got my boots laced tight. And if you guys don't, see me on a chat tonight, maybe call the Forest Service and say, hey, look for Bigfoot and Non's red car. And actually, I'm actually taking my mom's car, so I don't get, because I plan on driving through some of that. She has a nice SUV. I got a little Ford Contour that I, lived out of. But I'm super excited. I actually have a couple points marked on my GPS that I have to check out. But man, Tate's Hell. It says it right there, guys. Tate's Hell. And there's a campsite called Bloody Bluff that there was this 9-foot creature that was seen for a while. And then there was juvenile tracks spotted as well. So, oh man, I'm super excited to see. I don't know if it's the giant Indian tribe, the Chichualians.
Yes, the huge tribe.
Or Skunk Ape people. So I am going to hopefully retrace CB's, steps, and I'll see you guys in 7 days.
Wow.
No, I'm just doing it today, but that would be, hopefully one day we could do this 7-day journey. But it's really close to Apalachicola National Forest, where Kevin Saunders has a famous encounter where a female Sasquatch telepathically spoke to him and then brought him into the forest and then introduced him physically to her parents. So it's some next level stuff. It literally borders that. So like Tate's Hell is just a really cursed area of the Apalachicola National Forest, the land between the rivers. What does that sound like, guys? The land between the lakes. So guys, just hope the best for me. But of course, I'm just walking with the best energy. I'm going to be out there smelling like the cabbage man. So hopefully they, bring my vibes. And, already a great morning, eventful times. But yes, we are also going to be filming in that same area, SQUATCHIN, South Florida. We did an experiment yesterday with some dowsing rods. You will see it in our film, and we will talk about it in our documentary, From Fear to Understanding. But we're connecting the vibes, spirits, the forest deities, the ancient ones, and maybe even some lights in the sky. You know what that really starts with is the eternal light that starts inside of you. That's why there's so much curiosity inside of us and about us, because we're made in the Creator's image, and there's something about it. So the Fibonacci spiral, your fingerprints, seashells, pine cones, your pineal gland, DMT, it all freaking connects. So let's just break down all the walls, forget about the establishment. And this is the only news I watch, man. And I don't eat microwave food. And look how normal I turned out. So
I got breaking news right now. Breaking news right now. So Bigfoot Michigan Rob's channel, April 14th is booked.
Oh
I will
shit!
be
Yes,
on his channel, April 14th.
Cool.
So it's booked, and I think he wrote. Let's see what time. Let me see what time he wrote. I just lost it. April 14th, noon, Central Time, noon. So that's 12 o'clock Central. Pacific, that's probably 11 o'clock. I think Central is 1 hour ahead of Pacific.
10 o'clock your time. 10 o'clock
10
your
o'clock,
time.
my bad. So 10 o'clock my time, 12 o'clock noon on April 14th. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be fun. And
Heck
so,
yeah.
Bob, what do you got coming up? I know tomorrow night you're going to jump on.
Be with you. Yeah. Wednesday night, I'll be doing one of my little presentation thingies. I'm going to put together some fun stuff and then kind of just put it out there again. I'll just do it Wednesday night. So for those of you out there, also, again, don't forget to watch Connor's live show he's going to have coming up. Hold up your book, man. Get that new book up there. What are you doing? You're wasting this. There you go.
Yes, we finally got our hands on the newest printed book, Erie Swamps Road Trip to Eden. So it went from the green one, which I'm not sure where it's at, to this. But the artwork is amazing in the layout. But my favorite part is right there, the skunk ape on the back. That is freaking dope. Pick that up on Amazon. Beyond the Fray Publishing, super dope. Big Brother Bigfoot. The cover looks so amazing. I'm really pumped for that. And while I got the podium and the microphone, I want to shout out Pyromedic is going to be on Raven's Outpost tonight, talking about his Native American connection to the forest. Pyro is my swamp brother, big supporter, always here, always, chiming in with some important information. Definitely awake and not woke. So much love to the family, and I love to see people expanding. So I will definitely be tuning in to Raven's Outpost because he's a really late night show, and I'm like one of these owl man, I'm up late until I pass out.
Yep.
And whenever I fall asleep and I have a lighter in my pocket, I always toss it out, guys. More advice, get that lighter out of your pocket. You do not want an explosion at 4:20 at night.
And tomorrow night, anything you want to know about dreams, it'll be here.
Yes.
Beyond that, guys, I want to thank everybody for showing up this morning. And I want to say, guys, have a great rest of your day. And beyond that, I'll see everybody later.